Good morning, everyone. Up and early. Just wait for a few more to join the stream here, and then we'll get straight into it. Morning, Mindful Matters. Big move off that London low. Morning, Abe. And I think a lot of this, rather than necessarily news related, is Nvidia. Morning, Ramos. Noah, Aid, Jeff, Miguel, Mindful Matters, Thumper, Juan. Good morning, everyone. All right, let's get into it then. What are we looking at? Daily charts, right? Daily charts. We are extending into the old all-time highs, right? Not the current all-time highs, the old all-time highs back in July. All right, that's what we're pushing into. From a fib point of view, we can think from this high to this low, we're coming into above 50% and into the golden pocket. So location, not ideal currently, all right? Asia, London had the best location on this drive, sub 600 for this move up. They're up almost 300 points already on this move. The other thing we need to think about, this up here, for me, I think we talked about it last week, this for me is a strong, a weak high. All right, it's a weak high. The reason for that is this all-time high was made during Globex, wasn't made during New York. So there's not a lot of volume once we start getting above this 250 level. So I feel like whether we do it this week or next week, it's likely the market will want to hunt for that. Dropping down into some lower time frames, I'm going to first focus on this hourly. This gray box here is your cash gap. All right, all the way up to, might as well call it 950. Okay, so on the QQQ, if you're trading the ETFs, that would be into sort of 508 mark. Now, the cash gap on the SPY has been and gone. SPY is currently basing, it just did a 5-minute flag above its cash gap. Cash gap is about, effectively, you might as well call it 593. Right, so all the time SPY is above that, it is very, very strong. It's filled its gap and it's going to try and reprice upside. Now, obviously, overnight, we are gapping up. All right, so we have another gap to the upside. Gap fill for us, if we're going to go downside pressure, would be back down to 750, right, to around the 750 mark, somewhere around here, which is also previous New York open. So we are trading straight upside. You can see in this 5-minute chart, all right, London's had all the fun. Yesterday, we did this big drop and then pump back up. This was on Nvidia. Nvidia had very, very good earnings, right? But the market dropped it and then pumped it back up. So maybe trapped some shorts in there, traded sideways overnight before finding this beautiful, beautiful move up. All right, so where was the best trade location? We always talk about trade location. Where did buyers show up the last few days? All right, buyers showed up here and here again and here. 1, 2, 3. This was the spot. Buying, buying, buying. This is your accumulation zone down here into 600. And now we're trading almost 300 points higher. So location right now is not ideal. Momentum is very, very good to the upside. Location is not. We need to think about targets we can aim for. So like we said, top of this gap fill 944. All right, basically into these pivots up here where we have some liquidity for this Asia London move down on Friday last week. If we start trading through that, we're going to start coming into these kind of levels here. All right, I'm going to extend this out. All right, basically back testing the underside of here, because you've got to think, make sure we're still on the right chart. Buyers were dipping in here, right? And once they broke down, they were forced to cover. So it might be, if there are any buyers left in there, we get a small reaction off this level of supply, but we'll have to see. If we start cutting through it, then we're going to go and hunt for these all-time highs at the top of the range. Right, this right here. Can I extend that right? There we go. Okay, so ideally, I want longs. Right, I want to be with momentum. Momentum is long, but location is not great. So I'm going to need to see if we can base on top of maybe yesterday's highs, somewhere in these sort of 840s down to 770s. Are we going to base somewhere down there? If we start to let go and we're going to go for that gap fill, the market can then start to roll all the way down, gap fill down to sort of 760, somewhere down here. All right, so the top of London, Asia. So if we start to roll, this is where I expect us to roll to if we can't hold this range. So again, momentum very, very strong to the upside. Location not ideal. Going down into a lower time frame now. So you can see if all the flow zones are holding, we're through this first level of supply. I'm actually just going to delete that. Don't care about that right now. We've cut through it enough times. And I'm watching to see these levels here. This would be gap filter downside, gap filter upside again would be, if you want to mark it on your chart, basically 950. So 20,944 is where I actually have it. Effectively 950. So that's what I am watching. Morning Marek, morning Matt, morning Asa. So I'm bullish, but not up here. All right. I don't really want to buy up here. So I'm going to need a trap or something to give me a reason to get involved. Right, so ideally a morning dip and hold. If we're just going to rip high, it's going to be hard. Now I have set price alerts on Nvidia for its approach into its all-time high. Remember, basically the breakout of 150 on Nvidia will be its break of all-time high, and you might get a stop run there, and then we have to see if there's continuation or if they sell into that move. So we pumped up overnight. We're not too far away. I've got a price alert up there, so I'll keep my eye on that, because if the market is going to start breaking highs, maybe chips and maybe tech can start dragging the market higher. But I'm trying not to be too biased today, all right, knowing that that move overnight of almost 300 points into open is significant. All right, so here's the opening bell. Let's see what we get here. See if we can pull back significantly. Watching the tape, there is a seller at 900. Another small seller at 925. Not much on the book. A bigger buyer down underneath 700. 82 contracts underneath 700. A long, long way down if they're going to sell this. So Nvidia opening up around 149. The indicator I'm using, this is the flow zone indicator, right? This is one whole package. You get that when you do my course. It comes for free. Links are all down below, Juan. Morning, Ryan. The links are down below. Use code Black Friday, you get $100 off. One-time fee, $399. You will get 20-hour course, the indicator, and Discord. So all dips so far into deep pullbacks are holding. All right, I'm just going to let this shake out for a little minute, though. I know we're up 300 points. VIX breaking down. Now underneath 1590s, underneath 16s. It can get a bigger move down here if it starts to snap. Obviously, that will increase market pressure to the upside for the indexes. There you go, Nvidia straight through. There's the alert, 151. All right, new all-time highs on Nvidia as it starts to break out here. Is there a way to get involved here? I'm trying a small long for this break, adding into it, moving my stop up, just scalping out. So nice quick winner there to start the day. Look at that, so quick, up $1,000 straight away, just off the dip, the hold, the break of this, selling partials into this, and then we'll see what we get for the rest. Oh, don't do that. Where's my flow zones gone? There we go. So dips holding this morning, like we said, all eyes on Nvidia, breaking out of all-time highs, now trading at 152.75. It is on an absolute tear. All right, shorts just got absolutely smoked on that. So anyone who was buying puts yesterday felt comfortable overnight. They got trapped and they just ripped it higher. Most of Mag 7 green on the day. Tesla up 1%, Nvidia up 4% already. Meta up 0.25%. Google's down on the day 2%. Amazon down almost 1%. Microsoft green and Apple green. So there's the blow off move. And we have to wait and see. That's why I take partials for that breakout into that move. Still have gap fill potential upside and downside. Remember, gap fill potential upside will take us all the way up to basically 950. Should probably mark it on here so I have it set tonight for you guys. Somewhere, I think it's actually about 45, 44, somewhere around here would be an old gap fill. And then downside, gap fill would be all the way back down into this range here. This is previous day open and close. Get rid of that now. Where is New York open today? Right here. So some selling coming in on that push, that overextension through. Nvidia basing it at 151 right now. Again, just going to let the market shake out. If we're thinking about a 1 minute opening range, here is your top, here is your bottom. We've traded both sides of it. So if you're looking at an orb trade, that's what you'd be looking at. Otherwise, you can be waiting for a 5 minute to set up. Again, momentum's very, very bullish. It's just the location. Location is an issue right now. Might be that market needs to move much, much lower and reprice into London, which would be much better. So we're coming in to test that 5 minute trend right now from that move up. Pretty good volume coming here on the sell side. So no dips for me right now. Again, we'd have to wait for bullish structure as we start to sell after that failed break. Nvidia now trading under 150. So that could have been a blow off top that they sold into. No, I trade NQ, TR. I trade NQ, but I'm watching Nvidia because I know Nvidia is what moved the market as it had its earnings yesterday. You have to understand what's moving the market. Mag 7 moves the market. So a blow off top and a failure here. Trading back inside range. Coming inside yesterday's range now. So back down into these key areas. Remember, this is gap fill. Into here is gap fill. So all this is not cash. Into here is cash. So let's see if and how we react into these gap fills, flow zones starting to go red. You're in a sell signal for now, still very, very early in the day. So do they start scooping this off the gap fill once we're efficient as a market, or are we going to move into a sell? Do we need to come deeper down towards V-wap, towards the London high, maybe even lower? Come and test this range. Remember, we are in a giant range. We talked about it. Anyone who joined me on stream the last few days, we've had winners every day because we've just been following the range. Matt, I was looking right above London for the long. Yeah, I mean, potentially that's where VWAP is as well, Matt. So if we go to higher time frames, once we gap fill and we come back into this range, this is, remember, this is old supply, old supply, old supply. If we can hold here, remember, you're looking for a bullish pattern. Don't just buy that knife in case it comes all the way down and washes the whole of London, Asia out. Can't be buying knives here. You've got to wait for a pattern to come. Which platform am I using? Currently today, I'm trading on Top Step X. I normally execute on Ninja, and I also trade here or chart here on TradingView. So I do all my charting on TradingView and my executions mainly on Ninja. Yeah, violent selling. Yeah, violent selling because we're thin. This is thin. We've now filled the gap, right? We've repriced and we've filled the gap. So now we're waiting to see if bullish structure comes in. If not, we can think about a short continuation lower. But this is where it gets tricky because we're in ranges. So it might want to dive deeper here. Point of control from yesterday is all the way down at 20,650. Top of that range, I would say, is around 700. It's what we talked about. Big sell here on Nvidia. Now down at 147. Still green on the day because that gap up was significant. Trading back down on the SPY and the ES2, that 5-day. Same on NQ. We're coming to 20-day higher time frame algo, anchored VWAP and 5-day. Everything is in and around this area. So repricing heavily downside here. Like we said, can't just buy the knife. We are coming into areas of interest, but we can't buy a knife. We know ranges like to overextend and then come down and overextend and then overextend downside over and over again. So we're testing underside of the old gap on the SPY right now. So high time frame algo, 20-day, 5-day, anchored VWAP, all stacked very, very tight. This is also the top of the old range. So we just dipped down inside of London, but this is the top of the old range. We can see it on this hourly chart. This blue line that I had, old point of control. This is top of old range if we're going to dig deeper. So we flip point of control now on the session to here. Right, so most volume is traded here. If we fail this, we move down to next point of control to 600. So big sell. And this is all from Nvidia. Nvidia now 146 on the day. All tech now red on the day other than Nvidia, which will go red if it keeps saying. Yes, TR anchored V-wap from the lows. So just be careful with your sizing here. ATR pushed up on a 1 minute all the way up to 66 points there. Strong selling. Look, the selling is increasing as we're going down. It's given no opportunity for a short continuation yet because we're just in straight sell. All good, Tia? Yeah, all good. Join me for a few sessions and it will start to make sense. So I'm watching now the easy move where we are would be into Asia London low, right? Right here, this is where it's going to attack that liquidity from that pump up. Not going to chase this to the short side. Nvidia now red on the day, incredible. We're only 10 minutes into the session. So under anchored V-wap, now going to remove that. Very close to the London lows. So the low hanging fruit London lows in a straight sell to there. No opportunity to get in on a short. No bear flags, nothing offering a continuation, just snap shorts down. Failed breakout of the high and then wash so far. So here's the first sign of a bounce. Volatility still high. You're looking at 63 points per minute candle right now. So watch your sizing. I want to see if and how we react up here into flow zones. Also want to be cautious of a V-shaped bottom because we've just come into higher time frame demand. All right, we've just come into points of control, areas of consolidation where we know buyers stepped up. Don't fall into that trap of shorting the lows. We expect lower prices here. Momentum is downside. We're just looking for areas to get involved in. We have filled the gap. SPY filled both sides of the gap, interestingly. NQ didn't quite make it up to 508, about a point, well, QQQ, about a point short of its cash gap to the upside, but we filled it downside. I expect us to come and look for the easy liquidity right now, which would be London. I expect us to trade back into 600 and take it. Would make the most sense. Failure to move lower here might mean a two-leg pullback a little bit higher if they can't take out this wick. But really, I think we come into London, which would be 600s around here. Globex low is, yeah, 595-ish. Snap of that, might as well go and run all that liquidity all the way down to 480. Very similar to yesterday, that first hourly bar doing a huge amount of damage. Catching up with the chat here. Do I know Austin Clark? He trades midnight open retracement. He was bearish today with target of midnight open. I don't know him. I don't pay attention to the midnight open, honestly. I think a lot of people put too much weight on it. It's just a time, right? It's just a time, a closure on an hourly candle. The only trade bearish today would have been a failed breakout. You would have had to take a snap short here after a failure to break out for down. That's just not how I trade. I would have taken it if we did this, then I would have taken it. Just personal, doesn't mean another way doesn't work. Like so many ways to trade. If he got that trade, that's fantastic. So failure to break lower here. So structural, we're thinking about, can we have bearish continuation into and under 595? Morning Minix. No, I don't deny that he's a good trader. I'm just saying that I don't use that strategy. That's all I'm saying. It might work for some. My personal feeling is a lot of weight's put on midnight. I put more weight on the 8:30, 9:30 prices. Tyson got trapped, went long at 500 and scalped it back down, back to even. Well, at least you're even, mate. At least you're even. Exactly. No wrong ways. So many ways of trading. You look at Stoic Trader on Twitter. I love him for his honesty at the moment. He's purposefully not even trading his SBS system. He's purposefully trading trend lines, proving to people that trend lines work. So there's no wrong way. It's just reading price. So here's the drive up. Failure to break lower here then, needing to reprice higher. We have to think about how high will it go and will shorts re-enter the market, or do we get that V-shaped bottom? It was an explosive move down this morning. We trade back towards V-waps, back towards flow zones, back towards imbalances created on that move down. Again, we traded into an area of demand. You have to be careful. We traded into an area of demand. So this can be breakout, pullback, hold and go again if it really wants to. I would normally expect one push up and at least one retest of where we just came from. All right, so normally expect one push up and at least one retest of here, even if it fails to go lower. The only time it won't do that is if we get a V-shaped bottom, if buyers are really just waiting to bid this all the way back up aggressively. Maybe into and around yesterday's level will be key. Yesterday's open close. What do higher time frame traders do there? Multi-time frame TR, so basically multi-time frame, trading off higher time frame levels, looking for lower time frame execution, using EMAs. All right, these EMAs as understanding market flow. So using them, I always talk about them as like stabilizers on a bike. Yeah, so I'm not trading off these. Momentum and structure first, and then these to show flow. Make sure you're not in early or late on a trade. And then, yeah, anchored V-waps off key pivots. But mainly trading off higher time frames. I'm always looking at my hourlies. Hourlies are what I love to trade off. So right now we just traded all the way back down to an hourly level, found an old point of control and bounced right off it. And we're trading aggressively now back up to a daily level. This is daily open close from yesterday. There are buyers below today, all right, 600 and 500. Big buyers down there. All right, talking 200 lots on each of those. So do we get continuation lower here or not? That's the question. Volatility very high today. Bookmap. Using Bookmap. So we have a 200 lot at 625. We have a 140 lot at 600. We have a 130 lot at 550, and we have a 233 lot at 500. Yep, exactly, Matt. Holding those higher time frame levels, isn't it? So V-shape so far, right back up into yesterday's IB high now. All right, this area here says yesterday's IB high. Nvidia now 148. Did they reapproach 150? Was this what we talked about? Was this a breakout pullback on a higher time frame? Right? Was this simply breakout, pullback, consolidation, breakout, pullback? Are we going to try and go higher for the session? Aggressively repricing higher now. Probably the same story we talk about every single day. Shorts, are they getting trapped at the lows, right? Do they force themselves in on the mean reversion, 5-day, 20-day, point of control, everything down here telling this to be a cover point at the very least? So yesterday's IB high here is what we're trading at right now. And it's also yesterday's New York Open. So we reclaimed yesterday's New York Open, yesterday's IB high. Remember, yesterday, New York Open, we just went straight down for the morning session until we found those dips that we took yesterday. So very, very typical of range rotation right now, trying to find out where the buyers and sellers are participating. And we're just going to keep rotating between the two until one side gets sufficiently trapped, right? Buyers probably got trapped up here, taking the breakout and not taking profits like I did. And then sellers probably got trapped down here, trying to force it lower without any meaningful bounce back and structure to get short from. Right, so now we've got V-shaped recovery to here because shorts are trapped at the low. Same story every single day. They do not learn their lessons. Initial balance, 1 hour from open. Yeah, so the IB today, it will be automatically set. It will show you on here when it's set, but I have it set on my screen from yesterday, so I can see yesterday's IBs. If we zoom out, it will still show. It will just look a little bit messy. Yeah, IB high right here yesterday, 56s. So we're just through it right now. Screen looks a little bit messier today than we would normally, and that's because we are starting, as we start to rotate like this, all the indicators will start to get closer and closer together. Remember, we talked about it on a daily, how important the relationship between the top and lower Bollinger Band and the 5-day, 20-day is. So right now, what do we expect? We expect a retest, like we talk about, relief, come on, relief, and at least a retest of here. And then we have to see, do buyers step up or do we get continuation? This is short, still in a sell structure, right? Pullback, we expect lower prices into 95.95 or so if we're going to take London out. This is exactly what we're talking about. But you have to be careful now because buyers might show their hand and come here. So if you're short in this, you should be scalping some out here, holding runners for the move down underneath London, which would be 595. Again, please watch your size. We're looking at 50, 60 points per minute candle here. Don't be oversizing in this. Definitely don't be adding to losers. I don't know how to say that. In Rothable, not exactly the same, but we have a zip inside Discord. If you join inside Discord, I can give you all the indicators that do the same thing. The only thing they won't do is print this buy and sell, and they won't have this up here. I am working on it. And if I get it done, it will be available to everyone who's done the course for free. I'm never going to charge more money. Right, so again, this is what you need to be careful of. This here is where buyers came in. Here's your sell, right? Sellers came back in here. We need to see, do buyers step up here? We are expecting lower prices. So if you're short here on this breakdown, that's good. But you need to be thinking about taking partials. Don't get stuck. If it starts to move against you, you need to get out of this. Right? If it starts to come back up above here, be very, very cautious, because it means too many shorts are down here. They are covering, and buyers will force it back up to retest the print of the morning. So once we do that first bounce up, there's always a short, but you always have to be a little bit more proactive. Still think this has a chance to sell down and start aiming towards 595 and below. There are bids on the tape, like I keep saying. So these are coming into the key levels right now, but there are bids in the tape. I think they're going to act as magnets. 612, 200 lots sitting at 612 right now. Volatile market, very volatile market today. And this short made sense, right? We measured this out. 50%, almost golden pocket, flow zones, retest of this area here, which is what we just did in this wick. Look at this. We just retested this. So partial into this, and then hold runner for a breakdown under here, aiming for 595 as your next target. That would be TP2, 595. Honestly, they are starting to add bids down at 500 now. He's increasing his size. Doesn't mean it has to come down there, but he's definitely looking to cover a short if we get down there. So welcome all the new people. Obviously a lot of new people here today, which is fantastic. All right, we've had 100% record this week. Only had winners in the stream this week. Yesterday was a fantastic day. So if you're new here, please do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. I'm here every single day, Monday to Friday, from before New York Open into lunch. I'm actually taking a vacation next week though. So you're joining probably the 1 week where I'm going to be away, but then back to normal business into the end of the year. Maxence, I saw a message from you on the website, but wasn't it didn't come through. It just said your email. Is there anything else you need? All it showed me was your email. How often do I stream? TR every single day, Monday to Friday, from just before market open all the way into midday. Yeah, Maxence, drop me an email and let me know what it is you need. Literally all that came through on the website, it just said your email, and that was it. I can get back to you later and we can talk over email if that's easier. Aid, you are on an absolute heater. I love it. Aid's literally coming in here, smashing it every day, then posting his profits here and in Discord with proof, and absolutely killing it. I'm very, very happy. Nice work. Get off the screens, man. That's good money again. I don't know what you're up on the week. It must be into well into five figures now. So continuation, lower possible. We know, don't be entering short here now though, right? We know this is where buyers participated. The short was back into flow zones, breakdown here, short, partial here. Now we're holding runners for continuation to 595. The reason 595, that is the London low. If we start breaking down below that, there is tons of liquidity on the book. What I would say is into 600, there's about 300 orders starting to stack up between 625 and 600. So we need to see how it acts there. If it snaps there, 612, there's another 200 lot at 612, and then there's 121 lot down at 500. Love it. Love it. Nice work, Maxence. Nice Aid. Really good. I'm really happy everyone that's turning up here consistently. You're just learning how to read the market and you're banking from it. I don't push the buttons. I tell you what I'm looking at. You guys have to push the buttons. So good work. Yeah, news at 10 o'clock. The book's not thinned out yet, though. They're still on the book. New hourly, new 4-hour candle coming at 10. So all we've done so far, all right, on today's session is overnight we've extended that range to the upside, right? We've pushed out that weekly range to the upside, and then we've traded back inside. Very, very typical of a range rotating market until it makes its decision. The book is thin. When I say the book is thin, that's when orders start to get pulled, which is starting to happen now. All right, so all those orders are starting to be pulled. The only guy I can see really is at 612. So if you've got to imagine everyone's got their limit orders on the book, on the order, on the level 2. And then when news starts to come, they often start to remove it all. So it gets very, very thin, which means if someone executes something, there's no orders for it to fill. It can keep going and going and going and going, which is why often in news, you get bigger spikes. Tyson, yes, I love it. Tyson just passed 4 evals. Good work. So news coming in about 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Yeah, slippage. Slippage happens because there's no orders on the book. That's exactly why it happens. So everyone's removed right now other than that guy at 612. All right, so he's got 100 lot, 200 lot on, and everyone else has left. He's got 200 lot on, and he left it on. Everyone else has left the book for a minute. And they'll start coming back on the book if it stops moving, right? If we don't get a big move, they'll start to put their orders back on the book once they know volatility isn't wild. So home sales. Few more home sales than expected. Came in 3.4%. Forecast was 2.86. The other news you need to be aware of right now is the Russia-Ukraine news. As we always talk about, you have to use hard stops because you do not know when someone is going to push that red button or say something stupid or anything like that. Yeah, it was orange folder only, but they still removed a lot of the liquidity. So I can see everything above 675 was pulled all the way up to 900. They pulled everything just in case. They're starting to come back on now. Yesterday you were up $4,249. Lovely. All right, here's the break of structure, downside pressure. All right, so 612 filled. Not yet. He's still there. All right, not there. Just checking. He's still there. 212 orders at 612. Yes, you pay for bookmap. You just use your data from Ninja or whoever your data provider is for CME. Still there, still at 612, 200 orders. So let's see how it reacts. Is he a real bidder? Does he get filled? He's getting filled, he's getting filled. There you go, he's gone. So fully out there, he got fully filled in this candle here. So there you can see he's absorbing some of that pressure. That's 200 orders from one guy all filled there in that candle. So there's 157 orders on the book at 600. Right, so again, we are in bearish flow, right? Leg 1, leg 2, like we said, after this pullback, we always expect at least a retest of this area, and then we hold runners for continuation down. 595 is that London low. If we're going to start getting heavy today, we're going to have to start breaking key levels, right? So point of control from yesterday is at 604. If we start breaking that, we can go and test value area low, which would be 560s. Start breaking that, we can go and test right to the bottom of the range, which would be 500. So there is room for downside continuation today, but you just have to remember you are starting to sell into old demand. You have to be careful on structure, which is why moves like this are much, much better to get short into, All right, know your risk, have a defined risk. Nice work, Tyson. Nice work, my friend. What I would do if I was you, I'm going to leave this thought with you. Take tomorrow off, right? You've just passed those 4 combines. Freaky Friday tomorrow. Take it off. Give yourself a nice long weekend. Give yourself a pat on the back. Come back fresh next week. I only use session volume profile. I'm only interested in session volume profile. Yeah, give yourself a pat and back. Take Friday off, mate. All those expiries are going to start happening on options, increased volatility. Take it off. You've traded really well this week. Take it off. $5.95 then. I'm getting very, very close. It's right here. $5.95. This red line. Globex low. Right? That's where the liquidity is sitting right now. Under that, 550, 500 is on the book. Those are all 100 lot or bigger. 100 lot at 550, 108 actually, and 215 lot down at 500. So this is yesterday's point of control we've traded into now. It's what we're tapping right now. Max, I don't know. I wouldn't be betting on that right now. Yeah, contract size. Lots is contract size. Probably showing my age there. I wouldn't bet on it breaking upside right now, Max. We're trading into point of control. We're in heavy momentum downside. Nvidia now down at 144. All the Mag 7 considerably red, other than Tesla. The most red on that is Google, down 5% on the day. Tesla now red as well. I wouldn't be thinking about longs right now. We're not in bullish momentum. Even if location looks good for a long where we've been holding overnight lows, momentum's not there. You would need to see some form of trap if you're going to think about long, wouldn't you? You'd need to see something like this, and then we can start thinking about longs for a move back up to liquidity pools. I would just be staying with the short, holding the runners short, locking in profits. There you go. Here's the sweep. So now we've taken out London low. So every single buyer from yesterday into today is now absolutely cooked. So this is yesterday's New York Open. Is that right? No, day before. Monday's New York Open, right down here. And then previous day low and Friday low. We know that this is basically a double bottom, right? This is so close. Remember, ES did a considerable break beneath Friday's low. We did not, right? That what day was that? Was that Monday? Tuesday. Tuesday's break under Friday's low on the NQ was not substantial, all right? It was a small break below into 80s. Let's mark that out, low of week. 378. So a lot of liquidity right here. This is where it's going to be gunning for. If it's going to stay heavy, this is a very obvious level, low of week. Yeah, all good, TR. I think you've made the right decision transitioning from Forex to futures. Be in something regulated where your brokers and your prop firms can't be screwing you. So this right here, all right, interestingly, I have a 15-minute channel, which we've just come into. We're just tapping that 15-minute channel right now, the lower side. So interested if they get a slight reaction here or not. So this channel goes from November 19th to the low from November 19th that we tapped in again on the 20th that we're now tapping again today. So 3 lows down here. We are getting some bounce here. So this is the low end of the channel on an M15. Doesn't mean I think we don't snap it, but there is some covering happening into this level. I'm holding that point of control from yesterday right now. So still only thinking about shorts, but you have to be careful. Okay, this is a strong move down here. We expect a reprice and then continuation. Only times we don't get continuation is if we reprice and we start to hold, this becomes a W and we start to reprice higher. Keep it simple. Keep it very, very simple. Yeah, top set X is good. Top set's decent. A just passed another combine on that snap. Off to do the school run. Good. Good work, Aid. Love it. Bobo TV. Yeah, exactly. This is all Nvidia, honestly. This is all Nvidia. If Nvidia stayed above that 350 and priced higher, tech would have moved with it. Because it did a breakout, so a failed breakout, ran all the stops, smart money obviously flipped back short. So what Nvidia did yesterday, grind down, they bought it back up, grind up. On earnings, they dumped it to bid it back up. Then this morning, they broke out above all-time highs. So think about yesterday, grind down, get puts involved, grind back up, burn the puts, get calls involved. On earnings, slam it down, take all the calls who just got in out, grind it back up overnight, get everyone back involved looking for that breakout, trap all the calls again, send it back down. Now we're sending back down, all of tech is going with it. We are in a tech bubble, just remember that. AI is what has controlled this market for the best part of a year. Now, Nvidia earnings were very, very, very good, but they are selling the news. If they start to sell these stocks which are holding us up, the market will start to roll over. So very, very much so increased volatility because of these big chip names. Because if you look at the treasuries today, they're down, right? They are down on the session. Dixie's down on the session. This should be a prime opportunity for us to trade upside. But VIX broke underneath 16, found a low bid at the same level it's been at all week, at about 1575, 1580, and has ripped straight back up to the mid-17s now. So you just stick with continuation lower until it proves otherwise. I really think now there's a chance to move for those weekly lows. If it starts to prove otherwise, we're putting some bullish pattern for a return back inside the range we've created today. You still have another 20 odd minutes until that initial balance. South Cat Dad, how you doing, man? Hope you're good. So holding that 15-minute channel, right, after sweeping London's low. Right, so we swept the liquidity. We're holding 15-minute channel. You should be in runners only. Should have taken most of your profit on this breakdown. I trade, yeah, I'll trade before and after. Like I said, I took that long. I took a little short. And after the initial balance form, we will decide if we're going to have a trend day or if we're going to be in a rotational market. Yeah, very much, Bobo. Well, what happens is they don't see the increased volatility, right? The average volatility ATR per 1 minute candle on the session is 48 points. And what they do is they trade it like it's still trading 10 points per 1 minute candle, and they get oversized and get caught. So you just got to size right. So maybe that might mean moving down to micros, for example, from minis. And you got to be picky in your areas. Like I said, we don't get short down here. We wait for a retracement. We don't get short down here if we're going to get continuation. right? We wait for retracement up, somewhere for it to get stuck, some form of liquidity to then come lower. If it's just going to sweep this low, remember this is London low and hold, then we can start repricing. Obviously, everyone's stops are here. We saw it yesterday. The market yesterday gave some amazing moves yesterday. I think we got the, did we get the short? A lot of you got the short yesterday. Then I took the long back up twice on stream. And then I know Foster Scott took the long at the end of the day for that rotation right back up. It will give lots of opportunities when we rotate range, because what happens is buyers get trapped here, shorts get trapped here. Smart money waits, right? They wait. So good volume came in on that last push. So I don't know if it's genuine buying or just a lot of shorts starting to cover once we took out that London level. So key liquidity now would be sat up towards 800. Exactly. Take the high, take the lows, trap people either side. Yeah, exactly, Bobo. What you have to be careful of is this drive here with volume. Right, so you'd be looking, if we're going to get short, somewhere stuck around here and some reason to get short. Don't just short as it drives up, because you're the type, not you necessarily, but you can get stuck into add scenario, right? But these are better areas. You want it to give a reason to get short, because if it doesn't, right, this is quite a big move. These engulfing moves, it can do this. So when you get short, you need to be thinking about, do buyers hold this? If it's just going to keep driving higher, it might start to soak here. Got a lot of covering happening right now. Look at this covering, this green in the volume. This is covering or buying back. ES is also through its V-wap. ES is about to take out its pivot. ES is equivalently up here already. So very, very volatile market today. Into V-wap here on the Qs. Yeah, course covers absolutely everything. 20-hour long course, you get the indicator and the Discord all together. One-time fee, $399 with the Black Friday sale, so code Black Friday. You can see all the modules if you click through on my website, flowzonetrader.com. It will take you through to the Teachable website. It will show you all the modules, all the lessons. You'll be able to see everything. So you can see it's not a tiny little course. People in chat will tell you it's very, very, very in depth. And then I do lessons in Discord as well. I share all my edge with my students. Yeah, exactly, Thumper. If there's new stuff that I'm looking at, I either add it into the curricula or I post it into Discord, or we do lessons together. Like when we refined this indicator, we did it together. I back tested it and then I taught it to Discord before I made it live for anyone else. Stacey Burke is awesome. I love Stacey Burke stuff. Weekly models, really good. So, TR, you are at least where you've been. He's a smart guy. I find him very hard. Like, I find the way he teaches quite hard to absorb. I don't necessarily think he's the best teacher, but I think what he teaches is really good, and I think he's a great trader. Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. But yeah, I shared some data with another guy who trades his style a while ago about that last hour of consolidation into weekly range. It's something that I look at. We traded that exact model basically yesterday. Very, very similar. Can we get that retest into these imbalances here? That's the question right now. Or are we into soak territory to move higher? Very volatile market as it tries to make its decision what it wants to do. Lovely. So flow zones might start to flip here, which is why you've got to be a bit cautious. And we've got this imbalance down here, right? So we are still in bearish momentum. But if it starts to hold here, right, you need to be careful. This is what we did yesterday. We start to taper. We go from strong to like start to move horizontal. And this is where bears start to get stuck if we soak and reprice higher. If we just sit here for a while and then start to break down, then all the bulls in this area get smoked. Is it in the live recording? Sorry, mate. Which part are you talking about, TR? I get lost by going from chart to trading to dealing with you and then dealing with private messages. Glenn, yep. Yeah, I was long here, scalped out. Short here, covered into this. I'm thinking about a short right now, but I'm very, very careful of this volume here and here. I'm up about 1,500 bucks on the day. No, it's all right. The closing range. What does Stacy do anything on that? I don't. Well, he must do actually. I've not studied it, but I shared some conversations. I'll have to look it up because we did it over Twitter. It wasn't with Stacy, it was with one of his old students who was on what's that podcast called? I'm gonna have to look it up. Bear with me. There was a podcast and he had a guest on who was an old student of Stacy's. And he was looking at something that I'd been back testing and studying. And so I shared some data with him. Let me find him. What is the podcast? Trading Nut. He was an old guest on Trading Nut, probably a year or so ago. Yeah. Oh, you just put it up. Yeah. Trading Nut. So what are we cautious of here, right? If we're going to do this move, this is the quasi. Right, if they're going to hold price here and create a flag here, we will start to reprice higher. Very, very, very similar to yesterday. I'd say lower time frame here. Here's your manip lower. This is the expansion higher. It has to hold this level here, right? This level here. If buyers keep holding this level, if shorts are stuck in here and they get forced to start covering, we rotate higher. I don't know how high. Depends what their real games are. Other than that, we can look at the higher time frame to see where we might be able to go lower. So these are the liquidity pools. Underneath here, we're looking at moves into 550, 555s, 475s. And then really you're looking at these double bottoms down here, these equal lows, 417s. So lots of room for expansion down if that's their game plan. I don't know what their game plan is, right? So far this week, we've basically slightly extended the range each side, and it's not clear and obvious. They're just moving from pool to pool. And all we've got to do is just grab a bit of that, all right? We just want to grab a bit of that, but structure a higher time frame, or at least on a 5 and a 15 minute, is saying lower. We'd expect breaker structure, wouldn't we? We'd expect breaker structure, but if they soak this, be very, very careful. $636 for a reversal. You're talking about in and around here. Yeah, I'd say all the way down to 600 odd, but like we're in bearish structure. It would need to, like we talked about, it would need to hold this and put in something like this, some form, like it did here. You would need to see something here. You would need to see a higher low go in here. It's not showing me a reason to long yet. It's an area rather than a setup right now. It's an area. The better setup was this. One try, two try, fail. Now, if they've caught enough buyers in here, if this starts to let go, we rotate lower. So this is key area. I don't want to short in here. I want to short up here. I don't want to long in here unless we prove. Does that make sense? Location and momentum. Always location and momentum. So momentum, still downside. Downside pressure on the market. Back into the bottom of that 15-minute channel. If we get a new low here, we can expand lower. Maybe come and test value area low from yesterday, 556 or something. If they soak this level here, then they'll trap. Initial balance going to be set in just over 5 minutes. Just remember how volatile this is. It doesn't look like much. This is 100 points in 3 minutes. Very volatile market. Did I finish my coffee? Not quite. This is the last day I'm on stream for a little while, guys. Remember, I don't think I'll be able to get on tomorrow, and I'm off next week on vacation. But vacation starts tomorrow, but I will definitely pop in the room, in the Discord room tomorrow for sure, and do my best to pop in every day next week, and then back to normal the week after. Just see some Israel news hitting the wire there, those in Discord. In the room, not many. Lots of people have done the course, but not many have come in the room yet. Normally, I say finish the course before you come into the room. But it's a smaller room, I think like 40 or 50 odd. Course sale until the Sunday after Thanksgiving. Yeah, Black Friday. So until the Sunday after Thanksgiving. What's that, like the 2nd or something? December 2nd? So again, bids down here, 550 and 500. 550, there's 152 on the book. 500, there's 225 on the book. There's the break, so continuation lower. We are just continuing lower here. It really feels like we're going to come into some of these higher time frame levels, and it might just take everyone out the market. Maybe that Nvidia was the catalyst. Nvidia now trading at 141. Maybe Nvidia is the catalyst that this market needed. If so, is this going to be a giant bear flag on an hour and a daily? Right? Is this going to be a giant bear flag? We talked about it with consolidation here, and so far failed breakout upside, failed breakout downside. But all these levels, are they going to act as a giant bear flag? Or are we just going to continue to do this, expanding the range? Maybe we do this. No idea. What I do know that TR will be looking at is Wednesday failed to close above Tuesday's high, and Thursday is a continuation lower. Can we break weekly lows? That's the question. So yesterday's open, previous day low, Friday and weekly low down there. I think those will be the targets now if it can get down. Just remember your location now for short is not ideal. Right, the best short location if you didn't get the highs was here, and then maybe here was not too bad. You had that pullback sell signal right there. Shouldn't be trying to guess bottoms here. Can talk about areas of demand, but there's been no setup other than this relief rally up. There's been no setup for longs. We are in bearish trend. Multi-time frame trend is telling you right here is bearish. ES getting very, very close to coming back into its 20-day and its overnight low. Okay, so ES hasn't taken its overnight low yet. We're coming into it right now. So overnight low on ES would be 906. So that would be the London low, which NQ is obviously already done. Tech heavy today, so NQ much, much heavier. And we're at the 20-day here. All right, so that 906, 905 move on ES, that's the 20-day and the London low. So I've got one eye on that at the same time. Yeah, outlier day. That's right, Bobo. It's weird, isn't it? Because it's been aggressive, but then you look at the daily and all we're doing is trading inside the weekly range. It's just a failed breakout of that range. 907.25 here, so tagging, and now you've got the initial balance is going to print. So I'm going to move this because it's at the same level. I don't need this now. All right, so IB here. Haven't swept the overnight low yet in ES. Longs squeezed, yeah, well, to the downside, you mean, yeah. So just straight continuation. More volume here. Have to be aware of that initial balance now, all right? You have to be aware of that initial balance now. Think about range rotation if they fail to go lower. Yeah, that's it. I think it might even take weeklies. If it gets really heavy, I think it might take weeklies. But ES right at that overnight low, right at the 20-day. Hourly coming into these key levels that we've talked about. I'm not sure these are going to hold up. All right, if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, one extension through it. Do they hold this level up, this blue box? Or do they come and sweep all this liquidity now? Big initial balance, 400-point initial balance on the session. So again, big move down. We expect a pullback after a break of structure. Just basic principles of the market. How does the market move? It moves like this. Pullback, here's a break of structure. Pullback, here's a break of structure. We expect a pullback after a break of structure. We don't know when that pullback happens, but we expect it at some point, and then continuation until proves otherwise. These are now what I consider low-hanging fruits, right? 1, 2, 3. Can we get that? I don't know. ES is key at the 20-day and the overnight low, 905. So here's the start of potentially some form of pullback and relief off the IB low, right? Off the IB low. Remember, if we're going to do a range rotation, we can get back to V-wap very, very easily. Don't disconsider this move here, right? If enough get trapped here, Don't disconsider that later in the afternoon. We are in trend A so far, but we're still inside initial balance, and we're still inside previous day range and previous week range, or current week range. Right, so we're still building liquidity. I know it feels the opposite, but we are building and testing liquidity still in a 400-500 point range on this session. So ES holding London low, trading back upside from 20-day to 5-day. They're very, very tight now, all these bigger SMAs, these higher time frame SMAs. Still got that 250 lot sitting at 500. He's still there. There's 100 lot at 600. Maybe he's looking to get filled upside. He's just come on the book now. For a short as 600, maybe. We'll see. To see how it gets there, what the structure is, what the volume is. Yeah, does it do like 1, 2, fail, give us a reason, or does it just do this? We don't know yet until it gets there, so we just wait. Break and retest 2580. 580. What are you looking at, Glenn? What time frame? Here, you mean? On this lower time frame? Yeah, possibly. I'm also looking at the hourly, which might go a bit further. Value area low into 600. And we've got like an old hourly here, so I'm also watching this. Do we want to trade this value area low, old point of control continuation, maybe even back up here? I'm just aware that ES has held London, and we're inside initial balance. Yeah, so maybe it might want to squeeze a bit higher than that, is my feeling. So far looking good against this, but got a feeling the relief could be a little bit higher here. Even wick to wick could go higher on the H1. 634, 671. It can really drive higher looking at higher time frame. Can think about where's my channel? Think about something basic like this. Yeah, that's about right. Don't want to get caught mid-range if it wants to squeeze right up to the top side of it, yeah? ES back to 5-day. This looks good though. Little shove down. That was a perfect retest of the 15-minute channel as well, interestingly, which I don't have on these. But on Top Step, I've got it put on. So if you go from the low pivot of the 19th of November, we talked about it earlier, 20th of November, and today, we just retested that straight into flow zones and dump. So it was also a 5-day retest on the ES. Just a little bit cautious here at the lows. It's looking good now. It is looking good for potential follow through. If ES lets go and expands and goes for that London low, this is looking good. I'm always a little bit worried when we've done 1, 2, 3 drives down. Look how small and shallow this pullback is compared to these. It always worries me a bit when we do this, right? Because this can be the manipulation. So if you take this, or if you took it, Glenn, make sure you're paying yourself a little bit. Because even this move here is still 70 points. So make sure you're paying yourself. But this is very shallow compared to these. Very, very shallow to midpoint range. Yeah, exactly. Or a manip. You know, it might want to do, it might go and sweep and manip and soak. So I'm just cautious. Like, it's range rotation when we're in a 1, 2, 3, 4 days of rotation and like, when I say expansion, just expansion above range but no closure is always tricky. But like, we can, like, this can be this, right? Big push up, pull back. What if this is a lower high? We expect break down here. What did we say we'd break to? Eventually these will trade up. Bollinger, top Bollinger, 20-day, lower Bollinger. 5-day today crossed 20-day. We said when the 5-day crosses the 20-day, it is a signal for higher time frame institutions. This right here is not good. This is not good. This is when you normally expect this move here. Right, so same thing here. 5-day, 20-day cross, lower Bollinger. 5-day, 20-day cross, lower Bollinger. This is the same move. Top Bollinger got stuck, 5-day, 20-day cross, lower Bollinger, and then Bollinger, 5-day, Bollinger, 5-day, Bollinger, 5-day, until we go back upside. Yeah, so it gets tricky. Timing gets tricky when it's like this with the size of range. So obviously I'm on stream and I don't want you guys to get trapped. So it's an added pressure than me just trading my own book. Apparently I can't drink today either without spilling it. If buyers try twice here to push it higher and they fail, I think you get that stop run. So do me a favor, please hit that like button. We've been getting it to 50 every day this week. 16 more to go. You guys can do it. Help me out. 16 more likes on this video. It helps the channel grow. It makes a massive, massive difference to the channel. It might like not seem it for you guys, but it really does. It makes the algorithm start sharing it. I give free content out all the time. So the question is, do you get continuation? Remember, we haven't swept the lows of the overnight session yet on ES. It is still protecting it for now. And it's doing the dance between a 5-day and 20-day on ES. So the 5 days like here and the 20 days here. And it's just doing this right now. So we haven't had a cross. Whereas on NQ, look, blue line beneath purple line, we've had that cross. Tech is heavier, as we know. Nvidia in a sell today. Be careful with this here. Here's your current range. This will might be a stop run if we start expanding through that upside. So it's very, very tight here between lower time frame traders, not between any other time frame traders. This is a lower time frame trading range right now down here at the lows, protecting IB low for now. So failure to auction lower will do what? Highly probable move to VWAP. We can probably do an anchor off New York today again because it might offer something different. So where's the 30 print? It's not too far off, basically in a deep flow zone pullback. So rotation off lows. Here is your stop hunt through 90s. So see how they react there. Do we squeeze and hold? Do we push and fail? Still below 15-minute channel. Starting to base out a little bit here though. That last volume coming in was pretty good. So watch 600 psychological level. We said there is a seller up there. He's still there. 600, he's still there. 121 lot. Yeah, exactly, Glenn. It does like time liked as well. Yeah, it does. But I'm on here 3 hours a day, so most people stay here for an hour and a half or so. Other than when we make money early and they all get off, which I can't blame them for. So there's a sweep there so far. See if it does this dance here, leaving imbalances here now. This becomes key, over under. Very, very similar to yesterday. He's still not been filled at 600. He's actually added some size on. He's actually lifted it a little bit higher. 134, 136 on it. Does he take the fill? Watching to see if he spoofs or lifts. Yep, still under the trend line or right on it. Testing the old 15-minute wick low and the 15-minute channel. Still not filled that guy at 600. I want to see him get filled and how we react. Still got a big bid at 500 and 450. No fills for him yet. I'm hands off for now. Made some decent money this morning. 130 contracts there, Max. He's almost there. He's filled. He's gone. So he was legit. He got filled there. And just looking to see if they add any more onto the book upside to try and drag it up. So nothing other than the liquidity providing algorithm right now. No big size. The only big size is downside. At 500, there's 240 lot. And at 450, there's 140 lot. So after he's filled, we're trading back inside. All right. So after they filled, and remember, this is where we held. So how does the market act here now becomes crucial. So he used his order to drag the market up to him. So we don't know if he was a buyer down here looking to sell, or more likely, I would say, he's been a short seller all the way down, and he was just looking to add some on maybe. I don't know. If we're going to search upside now, remember the typical move would be back towards V-wap. V-wap is in here, right, off New York session. This is the overnight or everything. Liquidity pool is all the way up here into 700. Range is big, right? Range is big. This would be a 200-point bounce if we go up there. You can see why I was saying I didn't love the short down here. I get a little bit spooked when it's such a small pullback compared to everything else. Now testing top of this channel. Feels like shorts might have got trapped at that low yet again. So like we said, 3 drives, 1, 2, 3, cover point. Volume starting to creep back in here. Don't feel great about a long yet, but I do feel good if we start to base out down here. If we start to taper and base out. But so far, I think it was Glenn that was asking about that short, and I said I'd want to see bigger pullbacks, and this is why, right? So something as simple as a channel and trend line, for everyone that says they don't work, it would have stopped you getting short near the lows here, right? Off IB low, it's a tough short. And what's that? That's a retest of the low without a break. That is a problem for short sellers. So now, does structure hold here, right? Do we create some structure here? Maybe a sweep here would be good if we're really going to think about bullish momentum. Back upside for a squeeze. Remember, we're counter trend. We're coming. The hard thing is these moves have happened so aggressively that when I look at the higher time frame, we're trading right back up to point of control. So old blue level held. This, again, we talked about it earlier. Dips held, dips held, dips held, dips held for now. Now back testing, point of control on the session. POC on this session is 672. All right, I had this as old demand. So effectively, it might become resistance. If we start breaking above 714, we can reprice this hourly candle. We know the market likes to do it. This is not too dissimilar to yesterday. Moved down in the morning session, and then we started to grind up on relief. Right, IB low to VWAP. We've completed it. Remember, the VWAP anchored off the New York high is right here, right now. Where's the print? Bang, right? Coming straight into it. So that is a very common trade. We talk about that trade every single day on stream. SPY at VWAP, ES at VWAP, everything coming into its VWAP. So everything did that range rotation from the initial balance low to VWAP. Who'd have guessed it? I swear, I would reckon if you just took that trade every single day, even without the a technical setup there, more often than not, it will pay you. So question is, do they hold sort of 590, 585? 3 more likes to get to 50. Do me a favor, let's get there. Do they hold this? All right, this right here is where we broke out from, triggered the squeeze. So do they hold that level? Technically, we're still in a sell on this channel. So like on a 5-minute, 15-minute, we're still in a sell. On an M1, we are, I would argue, starting to flip if we can create a higher low in and around 580, 575, somewhere around that. If we can create a higher low against this, just basic S&R. If we start to fail there, right, you will need to be careful. If we can't hold this and we start to do this, this is going to use liquidity to then go lower, and then maybe we get a trend day. So tricky here. Has the higher time frame finished, and is this going to need to go higher now? Going to wait for a reaction into 85s. That's what I'm looking for. If I'm going to go long, I'm going to need a reaction into there to think about getting long. But again, I'm up over $2,000 on the day so far, so I'm not going to force anything. Especially when I'm going on vacation. I don't want to go on vacation after having a rough day. And I have to live with that for like 10 days. It's the worst. It's like having a bad red day on a Friday and going into the weekend, but even worse. You have 10 days off to mull over how shit you've traded. That would be the worst. So into the deep pullback flow zones, right? Into these fibs, rolling fibs. 50 likes on the stream. Thanks so much, everybody. Really appreciate you. Do we flip the flow zones? Do we start to hold them? All right, you can see lower time frame wants to go bullish. Look at the top right. Higher time frame's bearish, lower time frame wants to go bullish, which means this will be a counter trend trade. Counter trend trades can squeeze aggressively. We saw it yesterday. But you just need to understand, when you counter trend, you lock in profits and hold runners. You do not do anything silly like adding to a losers. Bad dreams during holiday. Yeah, exactly, Max. That would be the worst, wouldn't it? Imagine me screaming out loud when I've got my in-laws coming to stay with me and they wonder what's happened, and I just say, oh, I've lost all my money. I can't look after your daughter anymore. It's over. You got to bail me out. Did anyone see that kid on crypto pumping his own coin up and then dumping it on everyone for 20 or 30 grand? I thought that was hilarious. Watch the crypto community run it back up to like where his money would have been worth like 1 or 2 million. Hilarious. Miguel, don't stress, mate. Missing trades, don't stress. The day is young, right? It's not even 11 o'clock yet. And it's only one day in your trading career. Plenty more days ahead, right? So if we build a bull flag here, or a trap or something like that, we can think about potential rotation higher. I'm watching ES and SPY into VWAP, right? They are doing the VWAP dance right now. Very close to breaking out here. They're in a very similar channel. Don't need to be early. You can join it when and if it presents itself and it's ready. Beautiful. That hold on the flag. I'm in this for a little bit. Lovely. Moving my stop up with it. Aggressively protecting because we're just looking for squeezes, right? This is counter trend. I'm going to lock in some good money here. Bang. So just the flag breakout with momentum. Very simple. 20 points into the 5-day, protecting into the deep pullback flow zone. So what am I up now? 3,500 on the day now. Just keeping it super simple. So squeezes can be aggressive, like we said. So here's your structure. Didn't even need to pull back, didn't let them out. Continuation higher into this area. All right, you need to be taking profit into this area. This is where supply was. This is where VWAP was. If we are going to do a fractal move, we are going to do this here, balance here, create another right shoulder, and then we're going to expand and look for this. And then we're going to be thinking about the same thing. If it comes up here and does the same thing, it might want to be nasty. We talked about this about an hour and a half ago. I've seen weirder things than it drive the whole way back up, but we will respect structure. Here is supply. Here is known supply. This is also daily level, these white lines, lower time frame algos. So profits into here and then wait for repricing. If it fails here and comes down here, then we have left shoulder, head, right shoulder. There's always two options all the time. We just trade the momentum in front of us. The momentum in front of us right now is upside, right? Flow zones have flipped. You get a buy signal, but it's counter trend. Break and retest 590. 590. I might have missed when you said that. I might have been a bit gone. Yeah, I got in here, Glenn. Really simple. Flag off the EMA supporting, bang. Probably took profit a little bit too early, but I just moved my stop up aggressively because we're in counter trend rotation. Marek, thank you, buddy. Very kind of you. You're the best. With the super chat, Marek with the super chat. Thanks so much, man. Turning up every day, killing it every day. Nice thumper. Yeah, lovely move. I grabbed some of that as well. Just remember, no longs right now. Okay, no longs up here. If it keeps squeezing and you're in your runners, brilliant. I didn't have enough size in to hold a runner. But we would need to see some more structure. Remember, we've broken out of here. So structure now is like this. If this keeps squeezing, it's just going to keep going because shorts are trapped. This is so similar to yesterday. I keep saying it. Range rotation, you only need to grab a piece of it. Shorts will get trapped at lows. Buys will get trapped at highs. We need to wait now and see if we basically can flip this, right? Can this be flipped and we hold this for the next leg? So what is the trade that we talk about every single day that is a common trade? When we protect the IB low or we fail to break out the IB low, we go to VWAP. What do we just do? VWAP. So low hanging fruit trade, gone. It's gone. We've done it. Nice, Abe. I'm not going to Vegas. I'm going to Palm Springs. I'm not going for the F1. But what I would say is I talked to my old business partner yesterday. Some of you know, it used to be a pretty big deal. No, I didn't. But I used to be a touring DJ, and he is going back. We used to play the F1 in Abu Dhabi every year, and he's going back to play it this year. So I am tempted to get on a flight and go and see him play because I do love the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It would be fun to watch him play as well with me not playing. It would be quite nice. So Something fun to do. He gets married this year and one of his groomsmen. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, not going to Vegas. I could go. My father-in-law does love the F1, and I am friends with the guys that do the debentures over in McLaren. So I was invited last year, but I just thought it'd be chaos getting in and out of that city. But it is tempting. Are you going, Steve? Is anyone in chat going? If I get to 2 Grand Prix this year, I'll be happy. Obviously, I went to Austin a couple of weeks ago, which was great. Maybe I'll go to Abu Dhabi. The only thing with the Abu Dhabi, right, is like Max has probably won now after the other weekend with Lando, and it kind of makes that Grand Prix. It's good fun, but it's like it's done. And I feel like this season's been so good. So unless something drastically changes this weekend, like Lando wins and Max crashes out and gets a penalty and points deducted for saying something stupid, which he won't do. Come to the British one, not till next year now. It's been and gone, Silverstone. Yeah, I like Silverstone. I'm a Lewis fan, so I'll be buying new red gear next year instead of all my Mercedes clobber I've got at the moment. I was lucky enough to meet him a couple years ago at a DJ gig out here. Really nice guy. Lovely, lovely guy. So continuation of squeeze, right? So these shorts are cooked. Do they ever learn their lesson? Do they ever learn their lesson? No, they don't. All right, if there's one thing you're going to take away from this, shorts never learn their lesson. They always get trapped. So I am regretting not having more size on, so I could have held a runner here. I only got one on. I'm based in Los Angeles, TR. So as you can probably hear, I'm English. But I'm based in Los Angeles. It's nice and early for me. It's only 8 a.m. here. So we're into a squeezer here. So we've taken this first level of liquidity out. We didn't really do this dance here for very long, did we? 2 minutes. All right, I wanted to see it sort of base out here to do this move that we talked about. It's going to hunt this liquidity here now. So daily levels here and this liquidity here. So if you're in this and you have runners, you should be looking for that drive into around 87. How far up do I think it would go? Well, it's due a pullback. This is a strong trend, but shorts are cooked, right? They probably went short down here, added here, and they're getting forced to cover. So it will want to take this liquidity here. If it takes it, we're going to get another stop run and expansion. Where can we go? Maybe previous day high. We can think about this as a range for the morning session. You're into 50%. Golden zone would be here. So I wouldn't be long up here now, right? The longs were down here. You need to be careful on a retrace here. Like I said, it can, if this is a squeeze, remember squeezes give back just as quick as they go. This is where buyers really participated this morning. So we could get a deeper retracement. No longs up here above here now for me, because this right here is where I expect us to find some selling. Very, very similar to yesterday. So similar. But look at the volume exchanged up here. Look at this big volume. If we can't get over this, then maybe we get a pullback into and around here. But if you look at like the slightly higher time frame, like just look at this on an M5, what are we doing? We're repricing into this. We have an order block here, we have an imbalance here, and we've swept liquidity right here. So we know sellers came in here for the continuation trade. Big sellers came in here, first bounce, continuation trade. One, this is break of channel, so we're going to trade back up to here, which is where we're at, which is why I'm saying no longs here now. Best long location has gone. Remember, we always talk about what is momentum, what is location. Momentum now is upside, location has been and gone. The location was here, and I got in here, right? So I didn't get this, but I did get this, continuation. So I didn't get accumulation, I got reaccumulation or continuation. Those are my favorite trades. When I know one side is trapped, very easy to jump in and grab a bit. Yeah, I did the same, Glenn. So you got long down here. I didn't get that long. 590, you said. Let me just check that. 590, 25, 90. So this break here. So this W, where they trap them off the eye below, and this break, that's good. I took this reaccumulation because then I'm sure now the flow zones are supporting it. But again, I covered early. I moved my stop up because I was concerned that we needed to do a trap move. But it's fine. Not every day, right? Not every day is going to be like the one you had yesterday. You had well over 100 points yesterday. Not every day is going to be like that. Even when it looks easy, like it's offering opportunity, don't expect the same out of yourself every day. Base hit, base hit, base hit. Well, I've just had small base hits today. As you know, we had a fantastic day on stream yesterday. Multiple thousands, but base hits today. Up $3,500 off a few base hits. You do not need a lot. When the market goes for you, make sure you're paying yourself. What's interesting is that buyer is still there at 500 and 450. So we continue range rotation. We talked about it before stream. I said, remember, we're in range rotation in Discord. All we need to do is get a piece. So again, what have we done? Failed to break out of here and hold, so we sold from that expansion. Failed to break under this level and hold, so we bought back up that expansion. So remember, failed breakout, trade inside, trade inside. Very, very typical. All you need is a piece. Remember, on an H1 now, we are starting to reprice. So we're into a new H1 candle here for the last 5 minutes. We've tagged into this sell candle that we had right here. We expect somewhere in here sellers to try and come back in, maybe to take us back down to 670 or below. Right, so just don't, if there's one thing you can take away, I'd say basically, and this is for like everyone, I'm not talking to someone specifically, understand where the market is likely to go to as a magnet each side, and don't try and trade beyond that. Hold runners for if the market moves beyond that, but don't try and hold full position beyond that. Yeah, lovely, South Cat Dad. Really good. Ryan, I got in at the same area as you. I meant to sell one contract at the area now, but I accidentally sold my last two. I was looking to keep one. It's all right, mate. Still got that. Still made the money on it. It happens. I only got one on the fill. I was looking to get multiple on, and I only got one on. So that was the end of that. So reaccumulation here. Same thing, look, same thing, continuation pattern, same thing. So can it go higher? Is it going to search for this? I would much rather be a buyer in and around here for a trap, but it just feels like shorts are so cooked, we're just going to squeeze all the way up now. Tesla now gone green on the day. There we go, back into daily levels. Remember, this is yesterday, previous day, open and close. These are big, big levels here, guys. So I don't love the long up here. So drop me a W in chat. If you're green today, if you took any of the trades we talked about, short or long, drop me a W in chat. Let me know. Yeah, exactly, Bobo. I say it wrong. It's not Bobo, is it? It's Bo. Bo. Yeah, sweep the Globex and then go for it. So Abe's green, Jeff green, Sam K with a big win. Don't know why it deleted that. Sorry, Sam. Asa with a big win. Nightbot just punishes anyone with a capital letter. Mitch F with a win. Christy with a win. Minix with a win. Up 16 points, but your strategy, that's fine. Good to trade your own strategy, mate. Nothing wrong with that. Thumper with a win. Noah with a win. Steve with a win. Chris with a win. Max with a very WWW, so he's having a big day. Love it. Foster Scott with a loss. No worries, mate. We'll get that back. Whether it's today or next week, we'll get that back. Don't overtrade it. Persistence paid's green again. We're eating filet mignon today. I love it. So you're having a massive day. I love it. I love it. Great work, team. Miguel, a loss. Don't worry, Miguel. I know you said you felt like you were missing your trades. Make sure you don't go chasing if you're frustrated. Yeah, it's just one trading day. It's just one trading day. You've got your whole career ahead. You can trade tomorrow, you can trade next week, you can trade next year. One day will not make or break your career unless you force yourself into something. We did, Greg. Yeah, we got some nice wins today. Very nice wins. All right, so we were talking about the first bounce short this morning. I actually got long this morning following Nvidia, and I sold into this, right? Moved my stop up, and then sold. And then we got the failed breakdown. I didn't take this. First bounce short, I took short here, started covering into these lows. Then I got a tiny bit of this, I think. Can't remember now. I have to check my executions. And then I waited for this move, and I got long here. Some of the team started getting long down here, protecting the IB low. So I was long from here for a move up into this. I like the longs now, but I like the longs much deeper. I don't want a long up here after we've swept internal liquidity into supply. That's a bad idea. Location is not good up here. So if it keeps going higher, it's going to go higher without me. That's fine. You guys can trade exactly how you want. If you like the long continuation here, don't let me talk you out of it. I just don't like this up here because we have taken easy money. Easy money. This moves easy money. I don't like longs up here now. I like longs if we put in another formation down here. And I'm going to be very careful if we get hit down here and don't do it. Right? Buyers are down here. Buyers are not up here today. Otherwise, they would have held price up here earlier. If we start breaking out above this top of the range, we can then think about continuation. It might sound counterintuitive that to say I'll buy higher. But I like buying when people are stuck, right? That's when I want to buy. I want to buy when shorts are stuck. I want to short when buyers are stuck. Right now, I don't think shorts are stuck up here. I think buyers are stuck up here, and we're starting to see that pullback now. That's right, Ryan. No worries. One stupid loss, one good winner. Don't worry about it. That's all good. Nice, Greg. Good work. Yeah, TR, that was it. Yeah, I don't mind buying high, selling higher if shorts are retrapped, right? So I know shorts were trapped down here. This is the way I always see it. Shorts were trapped down here. And this volume that came in and pushed up told me, so this was an easy trade. I need shorts basically to get retrapped in here. So if we do a dance here and they keep having their stops here and here and here and here, and then we do this, I don't mind buying high to take it higher because now I know where their pain point is. Right now, it just feels like buyers are trapped here and we might need to come down to some sensible level after stealing liquidity. It might not need to. If it holds V-wap, like I said, that might be it. I mean, even this move here is probably a decent pullback. But I'm very, very fussy. Those who join me on stream will know I'm very, very fussy. I like to look for bigger trades. I'm sorry, Noah. Yeah, I need a break though. You know, I only get to see my family once a year, once every 2 years. I'm not going home for Christmas this year, so I need that week off. Yeah, I'm sorry, TR. I thought that. There's quite a few of you turned up today for the first time. But yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back. It's just 1 week. 1 week for a vacation. It's nothing. And I think it's probably, is it a shorter week with Thanksgiving? It's probably a shorter week. It's Thanksgiving on the Thursday next week. Can't remember. But I'd imagine if Thanksgiving is on the Thursday, then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday might be a bit slower. Yeah, exactly. So I would expect lower liquidity, lower volume Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So really, I'm taking Monday, Tuesday off. It's not a lot. And tomorrow, taking tomorrow off. But I'll be in the room on Discord tomorrow, guys. But I won't be trading live. Yeah, back to VWAP, back to flow zones, building liquidity, building internal liquidity. Back in the old gap on the SPY. Remember, QQQ has not efficiently closed the gap to 508, which on the NQ would be up to here, 950. I'm not saying we do that today, but we have to be aware of that move. Right, where am I getting that from? Regular trading hours. Let's go down to 30-minute. This gap here, this is Friday, Thursday to Friday gap down. We have not efficiently priced the whole thing. So there is room, whether it's today or another day, to efficiently price above this and fill this gap. SPY has done that. The cash gap got filled. NQ has not done it. We have retested on that hourly though. This move here, anyone who does the SNR with me, Malaysian SNR, push, pull, push. We expect some form of supply and resistance up there. But we're driving back towards, so internal sweep of liquidity here. This might be enough for the trap now, to be honest. Looks pretty good. So 45 minutes left into lunch. Yeah, Greg, you were looking at the same gap on the Qs, yeah. Yeah, it's not quite efficiently priced yet on the Qs. SPY did. SPY opened above it, and then we've fully closed it because we've closed down through it in New York. So we've traded through it in a New York session now, which is good. What do I mean by the cash gap? Where cash is traded, right? So cash, if you think about the market, the New York market is only open 9:30 to 4 o'clock. Everything outside of that, whether it be after hours, pre-market, or futures contracts, right? I don't consider cash. It's like a light volume, a little bit of hedging, but most of the volume will be done between 9:30 and 4 o'clock. So when we have big gap down days, the market becomes inefficient because we haven't priced in any of that. Yeah, kind of. It's kind of like an imbalance. Not quite the same, but yeah, sort of like an imbalance. Just where it's thin, yeah? Where it's thin, and we've not traded through it in a New York session. We are starting to reaccumulate here. It's a shame this didn't come lower, where we are starting to reaccumulate here. So here is your structure. Here is an internal sweep, which is always a signature that we want to go higher. Internal sweep here. So next target, if you are in this, like I said, trade your own book. I'm not taking it, but if you're trading this, up to 92s. My concern is we're buying very, very high up here on the session. But trade your own book. I deserve to be in your bigger monitor. Oh, I've got you on the wrong chart, haven't I? So you're trading on multiple monitors and you'll say, you want my stream on the big one. Make sure you can see your executions. Yeah, I just moved it, Ryan. Yeah, I just noticed that. Thanks, mate. Always tell me if I'm on the wrong chart. Always tell me. Yeah, I'm trading off multiple monitors. So I have a vertical here, a vertical widescreen. I have a big widescreen here. I have a vertical here, and a small screen here. Too many, but they're not all price action. It's because I also have to have the stream up, right? So once I had that, OBS started taking up a little bit of space, so I needed to get a separate monitor for that. So OBS, bookmap, ETFs, VIX, executional charts, higher time frame charts. It's very thin right now on the book underneath 75. There is basically nothing down to 500. And I really mean that. There's really like, there's a 14 block at 650, which is nothing. There's an 11 block at 37. And then it's tiny, 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 all the way down to 500. And there's nothing upside right now. There's a 50 lot up at like 925. Which would be fresh highs on this session. Oh, my eyes are tired today. I went for a 5K run last night, and I'm feeling it today. Normally I go to the gym in the daytime. I decided I was going to go for a run last night before bed. Managed to get up to 12 miles an hour for my last minute split. I'm waiting. I reckon later today, my legs are going to be screaming at me. Haven't run like that since playing at rugby. Just thinking, I don't know how these sprinters do it. After running for 25, 26 minutes and then really pushing it at the last minute, I reckon they're going to scream. Foster Scott, I'm telling you, my dog will not run with me. If I skateboard, weirdly, she will run with me, but she will not run with me. And I don't push her too hard because she had ACL surgery a couple of years ago. And I don't know if you know about ACL surgery on dogs is the worst. So dogs, the way the bones work, they don't sit properly. So they cut off like a wedge into the bone and rotate it and then put in 4 metal plates and screws. It's quite nasty. So we went through that with her a couple of years ago. She also has arthritis in her other leg. She's on medicine for that. So I can't really drag her around with me. Fight camp this week. Nice, Ryan. When's your next fight, Ryan? Is it coming up? And is it in Dublin? Excited for you for that. I was actually looking a couple days ago, Ryan, about some of the Mai Tai camps out in Thailand and also Bali. It looks like there's quite a few in Bali now. So I'm thinking about maybe going. I haven't been back there for a while. I've been to Bali for 6 or 7 years, and I haven't been to Thailand for 10 years. 9 weeks now. Oh, same show in France. Watch the heat though, yeah. That last time, I remember Glenn was telling me it was really hot out there. Would I recommend buying Treyarch stock? Is that a gaming company? I have no idea. That's the gaming company, right? That was selling to Microsoft, or have I got that wrong? Sam, I haven't watched the Vegas Sevens. I want to go. I used to go to the rugby here regularly before they banned the Giltinis. So the 15-a-side team, I used to go and watch them. And it was awesome watching them because they had like Matt Gitto, Adam Ashley Cooper, like all the Aussies are there. And then I had a friend playing for them, Tom Mitchell, who was the GB Sevens captain for quite a long time. He's retired now. So I wanted to go and watch them, and then they got rid of the club because they were like basically buying all the good players. So stupid. So now I've got no rugby to watch really here, and I don't know if he's in chat today. My friend Mike Petrie, who sometimes is in the room, he used to be he's coach for New York. He used to be a 9 for America, and I know he's doing a lot of commentating. So I got invited down to the final this year in San Diego, but I couldn't go. I was away. Do you play rugby, Sam? Are you English or are you from over here? Yeah, the pre-fights were way better. The women's fight. Oh, Ryan, you probably know Katie, do you? Glenn was telling me he knows Katie and her family from Dublin, just outside of Dublin. And the fight before that as well was really good. It was fun. Okay, I'll check that out. This chair, it's all right. It's like a gaming chair. I don't know what to make. It was a gift. It's a bit squeaky. You can probably hear it on stream. It's pretty squeaky. So just consolidating here while the market tries to build out this flag, right? The market's looking to build out a flag here for the drive up. But like I said, I would really like this kind of move if I'm going to think about anything else later in the day. I want to sweep out all these buyers come back into somewhere where we can collect smart money buys, trap shorts in under here, return back in, and then go. If it's going to go without me, then it's going to go without me. It's okay. Here's the breakout then. They're looking to just drive this higher now. Flag starting to play out, holding flow zones. Like I said, play your book. If you like this, you can play this. Right, we're in bullish momentum. You've just got to be aware of what your risk is. If you're buying dips, profits into here, above this, into daily levels, and here, and then runners for any expansion up here. It looks pretty good though. Even this is 50 points. It's crazy how big this range is. It looks tiny and it's really good. Bought that dip into flow zones, you're already up 50 points. Wild. Might move it to a 2 minute just for a second, guys, just so we can see. It's a little bit smoother here. Yeah, so if you're in this looking for an 88 move, stops at 88 probably, you can probably go and hunt them. If we get through that, you're probably going to end up repricing the whole day, honestly. It will mean shorts are really, really cooked. Very steep. Very, very, very steep up here. So into the daily levels, honestly, it's going to come for that 86 or 88, whatever it is up there. That's where it's aiming for. You don't want to be long late in this, right? We talked about this flag. If it can consolidate up here, this was the move. I wanted the deeper move. It didn't come. That's fine. I'm sticking to what I'm playing for. But if you took this, partial into here, runners for up here. Like we said earlier in the session, go back and rewind this. I have seen much weirder things in sessions than us go from all the way here to here. This is a common move. It might not seem like it because it's 400 points, but it is a common move when we're in range rotation. Doesn't mean it has to do it, but we're already over halfway there. The reason I don't like longs here is where we're at on the range of the day. We're into golden pocket. Right into that 61 fib right now. That's where we're just started selling again. This push, 61 fibs. Previous day high as well on ES. All right, it just tagged previous day high. Structure on ES on a 5 minute is very, very, very good because what it's done on ES is this move and we're actually here. So it's basing above this on ES. It's very strong. Tech still red, but some of it not far away from going green. Apple not far, Microsoft not far, Amazon very far, Google very far, Meta 1%, Nvidia not too far away, Tesla not far away. So you're going to get a mixed bag there. I'm going to be here with you for another half an hour or so, team. But hopefully some of you in runners here, some of you, maybe some of you took this flag. I don't know. Maybe some of you took it. I'd say this candle here was the nicest candle to take. This one right here, once we broke above 709, risking 90, still got to risk 20 points. 09s, but you'd be up. You're up 50 points on it already. Already almost 3R on that trade. Very, very good. Got long, stopped out, very tight risk. That's all right. I think the idea was probably there, mate. It's probably a good idea there. No worries, Scott. Good management. Take the day off. If you're down today, take the day off. Come back, live to fight another day. So continuation of this squeeze. Shorts absolutely cooked. Nice. That's all good, Scott. Nice. Yeah, I was starting to squeeze it. I'm long till previous day POC. I don't have a POC up here. What do you mean from? I think we're through all the point of controls now. We're testing value area high on the session for me, for what I have. We've rebalanced that whole H1 candle. So driving back towards overhead supply now. TPO, okay. So if you're in this, partials into 88, that should trigger any squeeze above 88. Just make sure you're paying yourself. Again, continuation. Really simple. Pay yourself. We are in range rotation. We're bullish in this move, but we are in range rotation. At some point, this can and might stop. We don't know. It depends how many shorts are absolutely cooked in here. Do we get a huge run up? Very, very possible, honestly. Like I said, I've said it all morning long. I've seen weirder things. Location has gone though. Momentum, very good. Location, not so good. So 800 psychological level. We've just swept those stops up here now. So maybe a drive into 800 for continuation. Other than that blow off top this morning, this is where we failed time and time and time again. Right, this is the same block that we put in Friday at sort of 7, 8 a.m. last week. This is the same block that we had on Tuesday and Wednesday's highs. This is the same high that we did this morning, other than the breakout and failed to close above 40, 840. So everything above 840 really is blow off top supply. These guys got stuck. Right, we got long and we sold. These guys didn't sell and they got stuck. So if they are holding and waiting for break even, they might start getting out in this move if they've doubled down and stuff. Just psychological. If you were a buyer up here, make sure I'm on the right one, and you double down and double down and double down, and for some reason didn't get out here and you've held through this whole thing, maybe you'll get out break even here. I don't know. We will see. It's amazing what the mind will do, and it will hold on way too long. So yeah, just a reminder for everyone in chat. I'm away next week. The course is for sale right now with code Black Friday. It will end on the Sunday after Thanksgiving, and then I'll be back live on stream from that Monday, early December. I'll be back live on stream 5 days a week. So one-time fee, $399 with code Black Friday. You will get the indicators for free with that, and you get Discord for life for free. Just a one-time fee. No pressure to do it. Just letting you know, if you're interested, the sale is on now. That would be the last sale of the year, and prices are going up next year. So push into 800 then. A psychological level. Lots and lots of stops up here, I'd imagine. Foster Scott, I wanted the ES pullback to the 5939 idea for a long 50% of current structure. Didn't get it, so only risking 10 ticks for longs. Felt like jumping back in, but run out of bullets. Yeah, well, you're doing the right thing. That you had the right idea. It didn't give you what you wanted to do today. You've run out of bullets. Taking day off. Correct thing to do. Come back the next day. Thumper, checking out for the day. Thank you for all your knowledge and patience. Have a great holiday. See you back afterwards. I'll be grabbing the course over the break. Oh, lovely, Thumper. Look forward to working with you. Thanks for turning up. What's the normal price? Oh, currently $499, so $100 off. and it's going to have quite a significant jump next year. Some people might be a bit upset, but I think 20 hours of education and the indicator and the Discord, I'm way undervalued, but I did that for the first year that it went live to give people a chance, grandfathered in, and it will be changing next year. So drive back up to IB high on ES, right? ES almost at IB high. Beautiful quasi type look, like a head and shoulder, but with a higher right shoulder on a 5-minute. ES looking very strong. Apple now green on the day. Microsoft almost green on the day. Nvidia not too far away. Not too far away. So I'm going to leave you with this thought in case it happens later in the day. If we don't get a full rotation, or if ES rotates and fails and NQ doesn't, just be aware of where the liquidity is. The reaccumulation buyers came in here. If they don't sell and get their move, right, they will need to hold this. If they don't, you know what this does. This is not dissimilar to yesterday when we rotated. I will show you now. Right, the market loves to rotate. Take liquidity, create liquidity, take it, create it. All right, same move yesterday. Here's yesterday. Big drive down in the morning. Very similar to today. V-shaped type bottom. We all took this long. Well, I got long here, and we all took this long together on stream as well. And then we created this liquidity. Very similar to what I'm talking about now. Couldn't get all the way up, created liquidity, and we started dripping down until this channel got too tight. Swept internal liquidity, protected this low, flipped to bullish. Rotation, flag, where do we aim? Liquidity created, bang. You might have the same thing today. It will create internal liquidity to get to the levels it wants to go to, because it's already taken out the external levels in Asia, London levels, right? So we already took out highs, Asia, London highs, then we took out Asia, London lows. It's created liquidity. We've now gone and taken this liquidity up here, right? So it might need to create some liquidity like yesterday, come down here, and if it holds this area, break of trend, research back up for a double top, and then maybe it can go. Or if it comes down here and starts failing, we come back down, search for external liquidity down here. Right, so those are the options. Hopefully that makes sense. It's a lot to take on if you're not really familiar with structure and how we create liquidity and search for it. But stick with me on the channel, do the course, and it will all start to make sense. If the course is as your explanations on YouTube, it's worth it. It's way more in depth, and I go nice and slow and build up your knowledge. Very, like, I think very easy to retain the information. Sorry about that. Okay, catching up with the chat. Let's move this over here so I'm actually looking at the camera, because I'm always doing this. Probably gets annoying for you guys. Clear 3 drive now after the fact. Yeah, I think you spoke about it at the time as well, Foster Scott. You spoke about it. Just shorted and passed. Nice. Well, there you go. That's why we said we don't get long up there. So nice work. Myron's 20% through the course. Lovely. Yeah, exactly, on ES, right into the M15. And also that overnight supply, right? The overnight supply, where it trapped all those buyers, is where it started to get stuck. Raymond says, the course is golden, guys. I learned so many new things, and I'm not a new trainer. You'll be glad you got it. Thanks so much, guys. Thank you so much for the kind feedback. So this felt fairly obvious, didn't it? Once we sweep the liquidity, we come back, right? Break of structure. We come back to test where we found buyers. Now be very careful right? If they've had enough, they can come back down into these levels. Remember, this is where smart money started buying down here this morning. Doesn't mean they buy it again down there either, by the way. Does not mean that. It depends what their game plan for the day is. Steve, what is an M15? A 15-minute chart. So if you ever hear me say H1, M15, M stands for minute, H stands for hour. Yeah, exactly. So ES on a 5-minute extended, pulling back to its 5-minute structure right now. Very similar to NQ, all right? If we look at Qs, swept this liquidity just about by like a tick, extended through, imbalance, imbalance, extended through. Where's it going to pull back to? It's going to search to see if buyers are here. Remember, this was the flag, right? Structure, structure. Do buyers come in here? If buyers accumulate here, it has a chance to go back up and do a bigger drive for this. If there are no buyers here, if they feel like it's too high, right shoulder, left shoulder, head, maybe it comes back down towards this area. If it does that, it will be very much like yesterday. If they find buyers down here, this is what we did yesterday. Remember, we just went over it and then we started to curl and we went all the way back up and took all of this out. If they don't do that, right, buyers aren't here. Remember, you have to trade patterns. Then we fail, we go lower. Just because you come to an area doesn't mean it's a buy or a sell, right? If you're watching, and this isn't me being an asshole talking about Top Step and any of that, but if you watch those guys, I would say the biggest mistake that they make when they're trading the accounts all together is they see a level and they just buy it because it's coming into a level, or they see a level and they sell it. You've got to let the chart tell you it's ready to be bought. That doesn't mean coming to an area. It's like, what's a good way of me putting this? I don't really know how to put it. It's like a stop sign being there at a traffic lights, but you don't know if that driver's actually going to stop. It's the same thing. So you've got to let the chart come down to demand, let it put in bullish structure for you. What is bullish structure? Changing character, a W shape, an inverted head and shoulder, something to let you know that the market's going to go back upside. Exactly, TR. Yeah, exactly. You buy strength, right? You buy strength, not weakness. And then you won't DCA, dollar cost average, into bad positions. So we weren't buying today as we were moving down. We kept saying we're not buying any of this till it's ready. And when it did this, right, strength's back in the market, we start buying. This is to be sold. That's why we sold these. Yeah, and if you're ever in doubt, use the flow zones. They will keep you the right side of the trade. That's why I built them. It's exactly why I built them, because I used to have a habit of trying to force my way to guess tops and guess bottoms. But if you followed flow zones today, there's your sell, resell it, there's your buy, buy it, buy it. Very simple. Oh, what an idiot. Chart. I haven't made this many mistakes on stream for a while. I think I'm in holiday mode. So they are holding up where they last came in, where that flag was. Basic structure, isn't it? If you don't understand it here, here's your flag. Here's your flag. Move, 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 retest. Break of structure. Retest. We expect this to hold and try and go higher. If it fails, then we think about the shoulder creation. We think about like a trend here. We get short once it's ready. We don't guess. We get short once it's ready. But so far it's holding. It's easier to see, even easier to see right here. M5. Where did we buyers come in? Right here. Break of structure. Where are they trying to hold? Right here. Where do they want to go? Up here if they can. If they can. Or into daily levels or into an M1 imbalance. If they're going to put in a lower high on an M1 1 minute, they're going to try and do it here and force this. You can join as and when it's ready. You don't need to be guessing into this. Am I going to play golf in Palm Springs? I would, but I've got no one to play with. So no one else plays, so probably not. Max, 120 ticks today. Good work. Oh, I've got the wrong chart again. Come on, mate. What's wrong with you? There we go. So if it's going to fail, you'll need a lower high and a lower low here, and then you'd want a breakout retest to stay heavy against all these areas. You do not just want to sweep and go. But you shouldn't be guessing the short here. We are still protecting this. Here's your range. Pull back to this. We expect higher. That's what we expect. I'm not taking this because we're buying high, very high, after stealing liquidity. I've got a sneaking suspicion we want to come down here at some point. But I'm probably done for the day. 15 minutes till lunch, locked in good money. About to go on holiday. Do I need to force trade? No. Do I want to finish the day nice and green? Yes. Yes, I do. Anyone who's been to Palm Springs before? Any like good areas I should go and check out? I've been a few times, but done a few of the hikes. I'd love to go for the Indian Wells tennis. I'd love to go and see that. Obviously, wrong time of year right now. Have I ever traded commodities? Commodities I have. Treasuries I haven't traded. I watch them. I haven't traded them. Aerial tram. Yeah, I saw people talk about that to go up to like the top of some of the mountains. I might check that out. It's a good idea. You're the first person that said that, but I looked up things to do and that came up as very high on the list. It's cool. There's a restaurant at the top. Oh, nice. You can only use your system with NAS and NEO. No, you can use it with anything, TR. You can use it with absolutely anything. Literally anything that trades. There's Bitcoin. Can use it with anything. Like, give me a ticker. Trump, DJT. Starting to curl off it. Failed today, starting to curl off it. Can literally any, like, give me any ticker, Nvidia, which will have been a bit wild today. Same thing. Buy on the push, selling it down, starting to curl. Same thing seeing here. Building liquidity. After tapering, they're going to try and take out some of these levels. Literally anything. Copper, silver, gold, like I can put gold on it. Trades really nice with gold. Might need to go to a slightly higher time frame and probably better to trade it during Asia sessions, like here. There you go, prime example. Gold loves to move during Asia. Do I? Yeah, I do. I honestly, if I'm not trading futures, I'm normally investing more. In which case, I'm trading the same thing on a higher time frame. So I'm trading exactly the same setups on like SPY, but on a higher time frame. So like on an hourly, I have to clean a lot of this up. Let me take, but basically I would be trading the same type of setups, like buying these here on the change, 30-point run. Here, yeah, same setups, just higher time frames. That's literally all I do. So here's the fail then. It looks like that right shoulder in this imbalance here we talked about. Right, so you will need this to get stuck here and really be careful this level. So We will probably come and sweep this. You'd want to see it stay heavy under here if you're looking for that short rotation all the way back down. Again, that's why I said I don't like the long up here. To trade your own book, but this feels like very, very sus to come much, much lower very quickly. Yeah, I go hiking. Yeah, I did one of the canyons there last time. Indian something. It was really good. Yeah, that's why I'll trade. I'll actively trade, but when I'm investing, I'm just in the ETFs, right? Just easier. Soon V-wap, yeah. Soon V-wap, yeah. We're there. We're there. Good, cool. We're there right now. So this is what we're talking about. That liquidity. Trapped up high, stole it. First lower high, first lower low here. Now, can they get continuation underneath these levels, right? For this move. If not, if this becomes extended and they do this, they're going to take buyers stops out from here, trap shorts, go back inside, inverted head and shoulder, back upside. But this felt good. It was early, but it felt like a high probability trade. Yes, with a little way to go if it's going to get back to V-wap now. Watch the volume now for the next 10 minutes as we get into lunch. Indian Canyons, yeah, that was it, Max. Yeah, really nice. I was amazed how you're walking through the desert and then there's suddenly like a spring with palm trees in the middle of nowhere. That felt like a mirage to me, absolutely crazy. So watching for a retest here into 30. Do they start slamming this down, looking for the run underneath 90s, underneath 690s? Book started to like really thin out. All those big orders not really present anymore. It's crazy. Even that short there, that's 60 points. Mad range right now. Very quick moving. So question here is, do they do a bigger head and shoulder for a drive down, or are they going to do a very small inverted head and shoulder type liquidity sweep and go? That's the question. Who's trapped? Who's trapped? Buyers trapped up here, I would say. On lower time frame, buyers trapped up there. Yeah, huge IB. Massive IB. That's what I was saying. Maybe it was before you were here in the morning. I was saying, watch the ATR, right? If you struggle to notice, use an ATR and just put it to 1 minute if you're trading on a 1 minute on your chart, right? Use an ATR down here. It will help you. I can show you what I mean. See if they have one. Right, do an ATR. Change this to 1. Right, this is the average size of each candle now on a 1 minute. So you can see earlier in the session, each candle size was averaging about 45 points. So you know when you're seeing that, you need to size down. We're starting to slow down a little bit now, but even that last spike, 26 points. So that can be a good way. If you're struggling to realize how big the range is, how big each candle is, just put an ATR at the bottom of your chart. Oh, sorry, Max. I didn't see what it said there. I really have got to stop that. I've got to stop what it said. Let me view your messages. Soon to V-wap, Indian Canyons, trap low. Yeah, maybe I would. If it's going to trap low, I'd want to see it trap under there. because we haven't taken liquidity yet. So you'd want to see breakout shorts come in here. Until then, I'd be thinking we do this maybe, or this down. So continuation here against these lower first. ES hasn't taken the liquidity either, so we'll just have to see. We know buyers have come in here, but I'd like to see it sweep first, probably, but I'm not going to trade anymore today. Flow zone starting to cross and stay heavy for pressure. Glenn, like if you're executing on a 1 minute, use a 1 minute ATR. If you're executing on a 5 minute, use a 5 minute ATR. That will show you how big the average size of those candles are. So whatever you're executing on. So this morning, I was looking at the 1 minute to execute and I saw, right, we're way up at 45 points average ATR. I got to be careful with my sizing. So 15 minutes still looks bullish here. 5 minutes still, if a little bit iffy each way. 15 minute looks pretty good. Pivot all the time. The 15 minute is holding sort of 84 till 70, 670, potential bullish upside. You've got to watch that 15 minute gap imbalance underneath. If it, like I said, if they're going to flush this, they can flush into that gap. Remember, you've only got 5 minutes left until a new hourly candle here. Looks like they're going to go for those lows, potentially. Potentially, we don't know, but potentially. These lows down here. This looks like low-hanging fruit to me. Buyers stops, buyers stops, buyers stops, buyers stops, bear flag down to here. You have to take partial into that in case it does this. That's what I'd be thinking about right now. Bear flag here against flow zones. Partial into this, please, if you're taking this. And then runners, in case you get a huge flush moment. You can't be banking on that. Green, and looks like things are slowing down, calling it a day. Thanks for the stream, Alex. Safe holiday, mate. Thanks, Coop. Yep, same as me. Green, I'm done for the day. Definitely slowing down into lunch. Look at the daily chart. It's just like the biggest indecision candle you've ever seen in your life. And look at that 5-day, 20-day. We thought that might happen this week. So we just have to see now, do they use that as a trap to return back higher for next week? Or do we get genuine sell pressure come into the market? I don't know. Visual trader, I'm in Los Angeles. As you can hear, grew up in England, but I live in Los Angeles. Yeah, David, hopefully you had a good day. I think most people in chat had a very good day. Nice, Abe. Take care, mate. I'm going to give it a few more minutes just till we get into lunch. Before you all leave, do me a favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be back first week of December for you all. Nice, Greg. I love it. I love it. You guys are killing it, man. Absolutely killing it. Tricky, tricky, tricky here. Should have broken down there and didn't, so a little bit iffy against that lower time frame algo right now. Maybe they just soak this, but I would like to see it trap lower. Till when the percent off? Oh, it's till Sunday, not this Sunday. I'll tell you. Till the 1st of December. Yeah, till 1st of December, max. So, and I should be back on stream, all things going well, 2nd of December. Thanks, Ramus. No worries, Max. So maybe now they do it. Maybe now they do it. Remember, what I'd be looking for, if I'm in this short against this for a bear flag, I'd be looking for these levels here to break down. I'd be looking to take a partial into this. I'd be very, very cautious if they do this. Right? You do not want to keep adding up here. If they start driving through this, if they've built enough liquidity here and they're just going to be nasty and do it without sweeping, they can do that. They can do whatever they want right now if one side is trapped. It's very, very careful right now. Haven't had a break below yet. Balance here. This level here needs to become like a micro head and shoulder, and then you need to wait and get it down here when it goes, but you must be covering into these levels, at least partials. It's still nothing yet. No signal yet. Ignore this. You need to see structure. You got a new hourly candle coming any second now. So let's see what they do for 1 minute, and then I'm going to call it a day. Take care, Exister. All right, everyone. That's it for me. I'm done. Really good days trading. Really good weeks trading. 100% on the stream this week altogether. Hopefully lots of you have locked in. Those who have done the course, I will speak to you in Discord later today and tomorrow. Again, I'll be away next week. But anything urgent, just hit me up on the email or on a direct message in Discord. Please lean on each other in Discord. That's why you're all there together. Look after each other. Trade safe. Use hard stops. Just remember, we still have 2 wars going on right now. All right, so we can have headlines come out at any point this week or next week or when I'm back. So please use hard stops. Don't do anything stupid. Don't be DCAing into positions against trend. Looks like you're going to get this breakdown potentially starting to play out, but let's see. I will be back on the 2nd or whenever it is. Again, everything on sale until the Sunday after Thanksgiving. Peace and love. Be kind to each other, and I'll see you real soon. Thanks for joining. Bye.